Broadcasting from the Vancouver Convention Center in British Columbia, Solutions Review is on location at the FME User Conference 2022, the peak of data integration. Brought to you by Safe Software.
I'm Doug Atkinson, and we are here in Vancouver, British Columbia at the FME User Conference 2022, and I'm pleased to be joined by a partner, Pierre, Nowacki, Head of Sales at EMEA for Holo One. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Doug, for having me.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to partners, and I know you're about to become one.
Exactly. I think we're on the right path. We came here also to kind of test and explore how we could collaborate with Safe, and it's going really well. Yeah,
so I'm making an assumption, but I'm going to assume that you're going to be a partner.
Next time we see. We will, for sure. We will. That's for sure.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about Holo One and where you're concentrating. I know you're Switzerland.
Yes.
And that's probably where you're seeing most of the opportunities. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, for sure. So Holo One is an American company developing collaboration and visualization software based on augmented reality. So what we do is we developed a platform called Sphere, and that platform enables you to visualize data, obviously interact with it, and collaborate with users, who can be with you or very far away, distributed teams, and you will actually visualize the same content all together for training, for maintenance, for inspection, for design reviews. So what we see as potential, obviously more in Europe and coming up to Canada later on, it's opportunities where obviously people want to design, I would say equipments together, or they also want to train their people differently. And that's why Sphere is very helpful for them, because they do it with an impact which is way different than using PPT or slides, because you use augmented reality.
So this sounds very innovative. And how is it going in terms of user adoption around that story? Because that's a story that is next level.
It's a good question. We actually get that a lot. I would say it depends on multiple things. The user adoption is going really well because obviously there is a lot of hand-holding, right? The first piece being the use case you choose. We know the use case that brings value to enterprises, such as, again, augmented meetings or training on collaboration. So we start with the use case, obviously fulfilling a need. And then the biggest hurdle is most of the time adopting the headset. So we don't produce headsets, we collaborate with headsets providers or manufacturers. And that's for the end users to adopt and use the headset on a regular basis. So we do provide help, training with implementation. I guess the last piece regarding your question is also the integration. How do we get the data from a CAD system to the end users on the headset? And that's why we're here with FME, because they help us simplifying that journey of the data within the enterprise.
And is it the spatial element that is
Yes.
most relevant in this particular case?
Indeed, because the headset enables you to collaborate on a fixed object that is going to be in front of you, and we can all walk around this object, and the glasses track the environment on top, so they will know exactly where the equipment, the 3D equipment is, and all of us can see it at the exact same location. So the spatial data is more than relevant. It's actually key.
It's incredibly exciting that we're all getting to solutions like that, and being able to take advantage of such incredible data power.
Yes, and you cannot imagine how many companies are approaching us and even FME to deploy the solutions, because they know it's bringing value already. And I've seen customers deploying hundreds or thousands of headsets just because they find value in a remote assistance solution, or just being able to design an equipment differently and avoiding change later on in the process. So the value is there. It's more about spreading the word and simplifying the user journey. But I can tell you, I've seen many companies deploying it already, and it's only the starting phase.
Well, and so what industries are you finding traction within? Because that strikes me as there's going to be certain types of industries that are going to see that as exactly where they want to be directly. I mean, is it medical? Is it I mean, you tell me. I'm not going to do your job for you.
It's a good question. The answer is that I think I would have answered you differently 6 months ago, but I'm going to do both answers. 6 months ago, I would have told you manufacturing. I would have told you automotive, utilities. I would have told you also maybe transportation or also semiconductor, which is still the case. This is still valid. But what we're seeing now, because of the COVID, I don't know how to say it, it's that companies are looking for different ways to engage their people remotely. And so it becomes a collaboration tool in healthcare, in banking, in consulting. And it's interesting how this has changed the way we see this new technology and solution. So to answer you in the top three, I would say, yeah, manufacturing potentially as well, consulting, banking, also utility, obviously.
I think that's absolutely fascinating that it is a part of the environmental, cultural, human change that's happening around virtual work and remote work and just collaboration in general. Because honestly, the impact has been so complete from the pandemic. Not just the health impact, but the whole collaboration impact around how work gets done, how people connect.
Indeed.
Fascinating.
I didn't expect that either, to be honest with you. I also found it very much fascinating because I also find super interesting how humans are always trying and finding ways to collaborate differently. And obviously the technology is becoming more and more mature, more from a software but also from a hardware perspective. So it's easier to adopt, it's easier to see your data, and again, companies like Safe are playing a big role in this because most of our customers are a bit lost in the way they organize and they transfer that data. So now that this tool is there, FME, we actually, our customers benefit from it, and they say, okay, we've done it for training, why don't we just use it to enable collaboration on a worldwide scale? And this works impressively well.
So what we've seen in a lot of the conversations that we've had is that there is a lot of action going on in Europe right now with the partners. We've talked to an incredible amount of partners from Europe, and the sense I'm getting is that there is some cultural differences between innovation across the Atlantic Ocean from the North American, and you probably have some perspective on that. I don't know. Do you have perspective on that?
I do. I've seen the same thing, and I don't understand why, but I can explain. I've met today partners from Finland, from Sweden, from Norway. They are very much at the forefront. They are very much innovative. They are always looking for the next big thing, but they never forget about the use case they want to target. So it's not about innovating to innovate. It's really innovating to serve a purpose or a customer or a use case. I'm from France, and I can tell you, like countries like Italy, France, or Germany are slightly more conservative. They innovate as well, but it might take them more time than the Nordics, right? Or even the UK also is moving fast. North America, I think it depends where you are. I think it also depends on your network. What we've seen a lot in Europe is actually departments in Europe suggesting or proposing solutions to their counterpart in the US to innovate as well. And they're catching up, not even catching up, sometimes they're even actually going faster because they have a way to adopt it, which is way easier. I think in Europe we can maybe innovate and we go very fast in that process, but adapting is actually faster here in North America. Once they know it's working, they just get it on and they use it. That's how I see it from an augmented reality perspective.
And so tell me about what you've gotten out of this show as you've gotten to be live and in person with people, because it's been a pleasure for us to be able to actually have these types of in-person interactions. Tell me what you got out of this show.
I got two outputs, I would say, which were keys for me. The first one was obviously the human factor. To be able, yesterday I gave a breakout session on how to use spatial data in augmented reality, and to be able to do that in real with people in front of you, to interact, to get exciting insights from them in real was really interesting. I guess the other thing is So I spend the day also giving demos and people really meeting me with use cases, ideas, and how they use FME, and they can link us with our tool Sphere. And you can also see that they are just blown away by the fact that FME facilitates the integration of different tools together to make the end goal or the journey as easy as possible. And I've been just, again, excited about so many opportunities and new use cases I've learned today. People from, again, Singapore, Norway, Finland, the US. I've met people from Chile this morning. And they all have the same passion for FME, but they also are very open in sharing their use case.
Well, with all the data available and certainly the innovation that's happening, I mean, it's just going to be a remarkable next decade and beyond. I want to wish you the best of luck. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
It was
Doug.
a pleasure talking to you. I'm glad we got to spend some time together. Best of luck with the new project and the
Thank you.
partnership, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, Doug. Thanks for having me. Thank
bet.
you very much.